What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to the latest Liverpool FC news, including transfer news about the Wolves midfielder Matheus Nunes. Liverpool could have signed for £38 million, but it looks like we want to do a deal with Wolves, so Nunes moves to Liverpool in the summer for around 44 to 50 million pounds. Let me know if that makes sense to you guys, because it doesn't really for me. And we had also devastating injury news. This Liverpool new year for Liverpool, the 2023 couldn't have started any worse. We got an embarrassing defeat to Brentford. Paul Joyce and other journalists have confirmed that Virgil van Dijk suffered a hamstring injury during the Brentford game, possibly when he was sprinting back with Mbeumo before Brentford got their first corner, which they scored from, and he is facing a spell on the sidelines. He's definitely out of the Wolves game, and he is a major doubt for the Brighton game. But usually hamstring injuries take at least 2-3 weeks, if not more, to recover from. So Virgil van Dijk could miss a lot of games, and he could potentially maybe even only back for February. Good thing that Konate is back from the World Cup. But now we have to pray that Matip stays fit for the next run of games, because if Matip gets injured, we will have to play Gomez and Konate at centre back, and Gomez is not good enough anymore. The injuries took a lot out of him. It has taken its toll, the injuries on Gomez, and I think he's a shadow of the former player that was so brilliant when Liverpool won the Premier League title in 2020 alongside Van Dijk. But now we need to rely on Matip and Konate to form a better partnership, basically. Van Dijk's form has been pretty inconsistent, but he's still Van Dijk. But this just shows that maybe age is showing up for Van Dijk, because he very rarely, almost never got injured. But after his long 7-month injury, when he tore his ACL in his knee, he has never been the same player. He lost a yard of pace, and against Premier League forwards who are really fast and really physical, Virgil van Dijk is not the colossus of the centre-back that he was probably before the injury, and that's understandable. He's still world-class centre-back, but now that we will miss him for the next few games, and it's never a great time to be injured, but this January period will be very, very hectic. And after we play Wolves at home in the FA Cup, which we absolutely have to win. The FA Cup is the only trophy that Liverpool, I think, can realistically target. The Premier League title is already gone, and I don't see, with Liverpool's defending the way it is, I don't see Liverpool winning the Champions League this season either. So we need to target the FA Cup, but Liverpool will play Brighton and Chelsea in the next 2 Premier League fixtures, which is going to be brutally difficult. Brighton just won 4-1 away at Everton, and they are playing brilliant football. So the Brighton-Liverpool game will be very, very tough for Liverpool. Especially Liverpool have won just 2 games away from home in the last 8 away games, which is not good enough. And I think Liverpool need to sign a midfielder right now, because our decline this season has been very rapid, and I will reveal exactly why that is. But Liverpool are monitoring Matheus Nunes, according to Fabrizio Romano and other journalists, alongside other candidates for the summer transfer window. Why aren't we targeting a midfielder in the January transfer window? It's absolutely mind-blowing to me that we can sign Cody Gakpo before even the January transfer window opens, but we can't sign a midfielder. We needed to sign a midfielder as soon as January 1st rolls around. A midfielder should have walked through the door. And yes, Naby Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain are back from injuries, but they are very injury prone, and it's only a matter of time before they get injured again. And we can't rely on them. We can't rely on Harvey Elliott and Fabio Carvalho either. And Henderson, Milner don't have the legs anymore to run, and Liverpool lost so much intensity, running distance and everything else. The main focus remains Jude Bellingham, according to Fabrizio Romano, but Nunes is one of the midfielders they like, but nothing will happen in January for Matheus Nunes. It's a little strange, as we were very, very interested in Matheus Nunes, but in the end Liverpool decided against signing him, and for 38 million he went to Wolves. And he wasn't very good at Wolves. The Wolves fans said, even though Wolves are in and around the relegation, so Matheus Nunes has been pretty bad for Wolves Wolves, a really struggling Wolves team, I might add. He had 1 assist all season and that's it. No goals, no real contributions to Wolves this season. So Matheus Nunes has been like a nothing burger, a nothing signing for Wolves. So why are Liverpool really interested in him? I can't really figure out, especially because under FIFA or UEFA rules, you can't play for 3 clubs in a season. You can be playing for only 2 clubs, and because Matheus Nunes already played for Sporting before he signed for Wolves, he can't sign for Liverpool and play in the second half of the season. The earliest that he can play for Liverpool is at the start of next season, so I don't really understand why we have been linked with him right now. The best deal that we can do is sign him on a pre-contract agreement for the summer transfer window, and according to Sky Sports News, Liverpool maintain an interest in Wolves midfielder Matheus Nunes, but Sky Sports have been told that they are more likely to pursue a deal in the summer rather than January. Yet, because there is no point signing him in January. He can't play for Liverpool until the summer, so it just absolutely makes zero sense to me why we are interested in Matheus Nunes. And also because Wolves paid around 38 million, now they want around 50 million. And Virgil van Dijk will see a specialist about his injury. Hopefully it's not as serious as it is now has been revealed. But of course the specialist will discover the extent and the timeline of the injury. We don't know exactly when Virgil van Dijk will be back, but he will miss at least 1.5 to 2 weeks and maybe even more, we will see. So in the 2018-19 season, Liverpool were first in sprints in the Premier League, in high-speed runs, and we were like second in distance ran in a Premier League game on average throughout the whole season. And then in 2019-20 we were like second in sprints and high speed runs, and somewhere like 7th or 8th in running distance. And it has been sharply declining. The distance that Liverpool players are running has been on a steady decline, and now we are 14th for distance running in the Premier League out of the 20 teams. So we are in the bottom half of the table. But also what is really remarkable is that last season we went back up into like 3rd or 4th in sprints and 4th in high speed runs out of all the Premier League teams. But now we are 11th in high speed runs in the Premier League, 14th in distance running in the Premier League, and 16th in the number of sprints made in a Premier League game. So that is basically Liverpool losing all of their intensity in the past like 6 to 12 months, which is a really hugely sharp decline. And that's 5 years of high intensity football with not enough rotation players in the squad. And this playing style is mentally and physically very draining. It takes a lot out of the players. And you know, what's crazy is that Liverpool's intensity and running distance and also the high speed runs that we are making, it has declined massively, yet we are playing the same high line like pressing style that we did when we were playing a lot of with a lot of intensity, with a lot of high speed runs, with a lot of sprints. So why isn't Liverpool changing their playing style? Why aren't we retreating another 10-15 yards so we don't get countered that easily? I don't understand. Jurgen Klopp is one of the best managers in the world. How can he get this wrong so much that we are not changing our playing style even when the intensity, the number of spins and the number of high speed runs have dropped so dramatically and so much. I mean, we are now in the bottom half of the table in all 3 of those metrics. And James Spears claims that Liverpool are not really looking for a January transfer of a midfielder, which if that's true, that the FSG needs to get out right now. They are an absolute disgrace if they are not giving Jurgen Klopp a midfielder. Jurgen Klopp should bang on the door of FSG and say, I demand a midfielder signing. Get me a midfielder who can run, who has the legs, who has the intensity, and who has the capability of helping Liverpool increase these number of sprints, number of high intensity runs, because otherwise Liverpool are finished. We are not changing our playing style. We are not changing our playing style to suit the lower intensity that the Liverpool players are putting out. And I think not signing a midfielder is a risk that Liverpool cannot take. And it looks like because the Jude Bellingham deal could cost as much as £130 million, Liverpool probably don't have a lot of wiggle room to sign anybody else. Maybe that's why we are not signing midfielder, and that's a huge gamble. Will Jude Bellingham come to Liverpool if we finish outside the top 4? I don't think so. Why would he? When he has the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona and Manchester City clamoring for his signature. And if Liverpool finish outside the top 4, it won't matter if we have a lot of money in the bank. We won't be able to sign the players that really we need to get back into the top 4. And Liverpool were outfought, outrun, and with intensity outbattled at Brentford. And it's no wonder when you saw the team sheet. Thiago, who is like 31 years old. Harvey Elliott, only 19 years old. Fabinho, 29 years old. Against a 5-man Brentford midfield. The tone was set when Virgil van Dijk was left for dead by Mbeumo, and then nobody would ever outpace him in the past. And maybe that's when he pulled his hamstring, but he's also not as fast as he once was. Maybe it was the injury he was carrying. As I said, Liverpool's team are not putting up the numbers that they used to. Liverpool had a team in 2020 which outran and outfought everyone. And from the front press defenses within an inch of their lives, that was the foundation of the attacking and defensive structure. So why was that abandoned? This side, it doesn't run, it doesn't fight, it doesn't press properly, and it's a shell of that Liverpool team. Fabinho is also maybe less than half the player he was at his peak. He doesn't run, he probably cannot run as much anymore as he used to in his prime years. Is it because of like 3 or 4 years of really high intensity, high octane football? Did it take a toll physically on him as mentally? And Liverpool again need a team of runners, a team of fighters, a team of players who would absolutely die for the Liverpool shirt, I mean figuratively, metaphorically. Why did we sign Fabio Carvalho? I asked the question. He's a brilliant technical player, but he has no pace. He's too small, too fragile. He loses the ball too much. Against Man City, he lost the ball so many times. He lost the ball because of physicality, lack of physicality. And technicality without physicality doesn't work for a team whose identity is supposed to be intensity. That phrase from Fabinho is looking increasingly embarrassing given Liverpool's performances this season. Our weakness in the middle of the park and the passiveness in the back line has led Liverpool to concede 52 big chances so far this season. That's literally twice as many as any other team above us in the Premier League table, which is absolutely embarrassing. We conceded twice as many big chances as the likes of Arsenal, Newcastle, Man United, Manchester City, even Tottenham. And that's not good enough. And I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that Liverpool would probably be bottom half of the table without Alisson. Alisson saved so many big chances, so many one-on-ones. Liverpool would have conceded so many more goals without Alisson in goal. Sam Wallace of The Telegraph has speculated that much of this is the fault of Liverpool's assistant manager, Pep Lijnders. He wrote an article today saying that Pep Lijnders had a big say on transfers, and maybe that's why some of the analytics team has left Liverpool, announced to leave Liverpool, because Pep Lijnders had an increased influence and increased say in transfers, and the analysis team was ignored in many occasions. I just heard that we were in for Christopher Nkunku to replace Bobby Firmino in the summer, and Liverpool didn't sign him because Pep Lijnders and Jurgen Klopp vetoed the transfer. I mean, what are we doing? Christopher Nkunku would have been absolutely perfect for Liverpool, and we should have shipped Firmino out and replaced him with Nkunku. Firmino only had 1 year left on his contract, and Nkunku right now is like going like this, and Firmino is going like in the opposite direction. And yes, of course, Jurgen Klopp has a big say in what goes on at Liverpool tactically. He's not a pushover. The reality is that Liverpool have let a side grow mentally and physically stagnant, even in some parts on decline. And Pep Guardiola explained this to Rio Ferdinand while Man City keep changing the team, why they are selling players, buying players. With the same guys, it's almost impossible. You have to shake things up, you have to move. After defeat or win, we can change. At the beginning, players accept things, but when they win, and they will accept less and less, and that's what happened at Liverpool probably, that some of these players have won everything and they have grown a little bit complacent, maybe a little bit burned out, not as motivated. So you need to bring in new players and ship out some of the old ones. So if Liverpool don't sign a midfielder in the January transfer window, I think Liverpool's top 4 hopes are pretty much finished, and then Jude Bellingham will not come to Liverpool, and I don't know where we go from here. But if FSG don't invest and if Jurgen Klopp doesn't change Liverpool's tactics to suit the less intensity, less amount of runs, less amount of sprints made by Liverpool, we will keep struggling against physical teams, against high intensity teams, and a lot of the teams are physical, a lot of teams are high intensity because it's the Premier League, it's the most relentless, it's the hardest league in the world. You will find out if you have tactical weaknesses, physical weaknesses, and so it's a very bleak outlook to 23. I really hope that Jurgen Klopp can sort it out, and I really hope that FSG will either sell Liverpool quickly or give money to Klopp to strengthen the team. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.